Hey everybody, Dr. Mike Stanley with Stanley Chiropractic. This video we're going to talk about the importance of recovery in our active population and our weekend warrior population. So there's a couple different types of people as they get older. Usually there's people who try to be active throughout the week. They try to lift weights, they try to run, they try to do something to be more fit, they try to be a little healthier, and then on the weekends they also like to be active. And then there's another group of the population who tends to be at their career, at their job. They don't have quite as much free time throughout the week, so they spend a lot of time sitting, and then they like to go out and be active on the weekend. So both of these populations need to have some sort of a recovery plan. We don't often think about it as just average people. Again, in my first video, I talked a little bit about recovery in professional athletes, and we all see the value in what LeBron James does for recovery. He's an exceptional athlete. He obviously needs to function at a high level, and he needs to be sure that his body is able to continue functioning at that high level. So he spends hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year on recovery. But we tend not to apply that to us. Now, I'm not saying you've got to spend that much money, but there are easy, pretty simple, pretty affordable things that you can do to be sure that throughout all these things that you're doing to be healthier and more fit, that we are also not causing injuries in the body by allowing us proper time to recover and giving our body time to kind of, rebuild. So the big thing that we can do for recovery, it's free. The easiest thing you can do for recovery is get a good night's sleep every night. Now, a good night's sleep for most people can be a little different. For some people, it's 7 hours. For some people, it's 9. You dip down below that 7 hours of sleep a night, and most people start to see issues from a loss of sleep with that point. But sleep, when you think about it, our body completely shuts down. It is healing. It is rebuilding muscle. It is, adapting to all the things that we taught it, that we did, through the day. And we're just rebuilding, and we're replenishing everything as we lay down to sleep at night. If we're not giving our body the opportunity to do that, you're going to see issues start to develop. So make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep tonight. The second thing is to make sure that you are recovering to improve your mobility. So whatever we do, whether it be sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, or whether we are pretty active through the week and we're lifting, we're running, we're doing some sort of cardiovascular activity, we're going to develop issues as a result of either of those. So you kind of have to pay the price. You pay the price of either being active, or you pay the price of being sedentary. Now, paying the price of being active is the better price for sure, but we can develop issues as a result of either of those if we don't give ourselves the proper amount of recovery in between that. So if you're active, especially as you get older, if you're lifting weights, if you're running, if you're doing some activity where you're stressing your body on a daily basis, you need to have some form of a recovery plan to make sure that you can continue to do that, to make sure that you are maintaining your mobility, and to make sure that you are preventing future injuries by making sure that all the joints in the body and all the muscles are nice and balanced and moving properly. So we recommend kind of getting adjusted on a somewhat regular basis just to make sure that you're moving well. We also offer lots of different options for recovery, which we will cover in another video down the road. But the weekend warrior population, whether you are spending your time through your week and you're pretty active, or whether you are pretty sedentary through the week and then you're active on the weekend, it is very important to make sure that you are giving yourself proper sleep, that you are taking action to make sure that you are maintaining proper mobility, and that you are taking action to improve muscle tone and function. So recovery is important, whether we are a high-level athlete or whether we are just an average person working a career with a family and with kids. So never skip over the recovery aspect of a health plan, to be sure that your body is rebuilding itself, that it is healing itself, and that we are having proper function and proper recovery in between. So I'm Dr. Mike Stanley. If you're a weekend warrior, you're spending your time on the golf course, you're playing pickleball, you're playing tennis, be sure you're giving yourself what you need to recover from a sleep standpoint, from a mobility standpoint, and from an overall health and wellness standpoint. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.